Hey guys, this is Zach. I'm here, back from vacation, with some Pokemon for you guys. This is an RU game I had against VashTheStampede. Met him on the Pokemon Showdown, and it was a while ago, so I might be a little rusty, but I'm definitely coming back with more, so don't worry guys. We're gonna start out real quick with the team preview. First of all, I really like this team. I started it with a based around the idea of a sweeping Pinsir, because Pinsir has Moxie and it's just powerful, and it's like a slightly less powerful Heracross, and I really like Heracross, as you know from my other videos. I'm gonna go with Pinsir on this one, and Pinsir has the Swords Dance. He's a Life Orb, Swords Dance, plus X Scissor, Earthquake, and Quick Attack. The reason being for those three moves is that X Scissor and Earthquake do a pretty good job covering each other for the most part. Earthquake gets rid of all the steel types, so it would be walling me. Swords Dance. He sets up Swords Dances on switches because he forces a lot of switches. And after a Swords Dance, he can really dent and or kill a lot of the tier. And after a Moxie boost, because he has Moxie, everybody. He also has Mold Breaker, but I like running Moxie because powerful. After a Moxie boost at +3, he can OHKO most of the tier, almost all of the tier. So, and that's just it. The power is insane. He has Quick Attack too to sweep up those stragglers and all those that are trying to revenge kill him, especially after he's at like +2 or +3. That Moxie boost plus Quick Attack just secures him another Moxie boost. So up after that, I have Quillfish. So for Thunder Wave support as well as Spikes. Quillfish runs Spikes, Waterfall, Thunder Wave, and Pain Split, so that he can spread paralysis and keep the enemy team slow for Pinsir to sweep up. In an ideal world, most of them would be paralyzed. So most of the other team would be paralyzed. So Pinsir could just sweep up with his X Scissors and Earthquakes and wouldn't have to use Quick Attack. Or set up a Swords Dance, Earthquakes, Quick Attacks. He also sets up Spikes, which in this metagame where there's a lack of spinners, a lack of really good spinners, hazards are so important. If you don't have hazards on an RU team, you might have a serious problem dealing with some threats, notably like Steelix or Slowking or Tangrowth, because they have Regenerator, or they're just overall gigantically bulky, and even Steelix has sturdy. So Quillfish is great. He has an underused, like a really underestimated attack stat. He's got like a base 98 or base 90 or maybe it's base 100. I don't know, one of those. And he's just so he's a great support. He has Intimidate too, so a lot of my guys can come in on a intimidated attack and won't die, and then they can go ahead and proceed to sweep. He sets up spikes when he needs to. It's great. Next up is Druddigon, and Druddigon is probably one of the most underrated Pokemon in the RU tier, if not in the lower tiers. He has access to Stealth Rock, he has access to Dragon Claw and Earthquake, which is great coverage, especially in RU. And he also has Sucker Punch, which is just more priority for my team. That's already 2 priority on 3 Pokemon. That's not bad. The best part is he has Rough Skin, so, and a great typing. He's Rough Skin Dragon, so he's a great defensive wall. And his Rough Skin, just if you try and hit him with any physical attacks, it just takes more damage. And on top of that, if they're Life Orb, it's even worse. They're taking like double damage. And Druddigon really wear them down, and his attack stat is like close to 100, and if not more. And he's got a really underestimated attack stat too. People don't realize, they just think he runs Bulk and Glare, and that's his thing. Bulk, Glare, and Stealth Rocks is Druddigon's thing. It's not true. He can hit really hard. You still have a choice band on him. He's insane, but for the most part, he's just there to set up rocks and hit things hard, as well as have Sucker Punch. He has Stealth Rocks, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Sucker Punch, as well as Leftovers and Rough Skin. So he's there to be a defensive wall and set up rocks. And also punish physical attackers. Next up is a Choice Scarf Manectric. He's running Volt, Switch, Overheat, Hidden Power Grass, and Switcheroo. He's there to cripple walls as well as Revenge Kill, because I was lacking speed, even though I had plenty of priority. I was lacking speed, so I decided to throw on a Manectric because I really like Manectric, especially with Lightning Rod. Maybe some of my friends are rubbing off on me, but I think Manectric's really underrated. I really like him. So he's great. He can switch through some Steelixes or some really bulky things, and now they have a Choice Scarf, and they're pretty useless. Up after that, I have my support Swords Dance, Kabutops. He runs Swords Dance, Aqua Jet, Stone Edge, and Rapid Spin, and he's really one of the best spinners in RU, which there aren't many of them, but he's definitely a really good spinner. He's there for spin support for Pinsir, and of course my bulk, because my team doesn't like hazards. All of them are landed. They all take full damage from hazards, except for Quillfish. He doesn't take Toxic Spikes. But everybody else, it's just they take a lot of damage from hazards. So I have Kabutops there to clear them away. He also sweeps with like Swords Dance and Aqua Jet. He just sweeps up real quick. I like him. He's got Stone Edge, which is massively powerful coming off his attack stat. After that, we have a Will-O-Wisp, Foul Play, Shadow Sneak, and Pain Split Spirit Tomb. And Spirit Tomb was there. I tried a lot of things in the spot, and I didn't really like any of them, so I picked a Spin Blocker because I needed one, and my hazards were going to waste, so I decided I need a Spin Blocker. And he's got the bulk for a Spin Blocker. He's got a good access for moves, and he's got more priority. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 things with priority on my team. 4 Pokemon with priority on my team. So I mean, I don't really I can deal with fast threats pretty well. If they're not even paralyzed already. But he's there to spread Will-O-Wisps and essentially spin block. So he's generally bulky too, which is great. No weaknesses, it's great. He's got the other guy, VashTheStampede. He's got, looks like a Slow King like everybody in RU. Probably just bulky with a generator. And he's got Aerodactyl, set up rocks. He's got probably a Choice Scarf Conchino, maybe a Choice or Life Orb Galvantula. He's got a Tangrowth there. It's probably his offensive wall. Probably they're set up like Leechy and Sleep Powders and things. And then he's got just a powerhouse in Escavalier. So it seems like a pretty solid team overall, pretty RU. So we're gonna get right into it and see how it goes. I'm gonna lead Druddigon, and he's gonna lead Aerodactyl. I'm expecting him to set up rocks, and I'm gonna set up rocks myself. So, because usually Aerodactyls when they lead, they used to be a dedicated lead in Gen 4, so and they just set up rocks, because they were really fast. So he's gonna set up rocks. Well, I'm gonna set up rocks, and he's gonna go for a Stone Edge because he thinks probably Druddigon needs to be hurt more. He's probably a little afraid of Druddigon because it does kind of wall a lot of his team. So he's gonna go for a Stone Edge, and it also leads me to believe this may be a Choice Band set, because that did a lot of damage too. So I'm gonna go into Quillfish to intimidate it. And if it goes for another another Stone Edge, it's not gonna hurt all that much. That did like, I don't know, a third. So I'm gonna take this chance to, since I know he's probably gonna switch out because that's not doing anything. I have Waterfall. He's gonna switch out. I'm gonna use my spikes because if I get spikes up, I notice he doesn't have a spin blocker, he doesn't have a spinner. So my spikes are here to stay, as well as my Stealth Rocks. So might as well set them up as early as possible. Tangrowth comes in. I'm wondering why, because I don't think he can hit me with anything. Maybe to Sleep Powder me, so I'm just gonna keep on setting up spikes. He's gonna go for a Power Whip, and that's gonna do close to 40%, and that's gonna scare me. I was debating whether or not I wanted to go for another spikes, and I definitely wanted to after that because I knew he couldn't kill me with Black Sludge, after Black Sludge. So he's gonna go for Leechy this time though. So questionable play, but again, maybe he's in it for the long run. I don't know. I now have all my hazards up, which is gonna be key in this match. It weakens his Regenerator core of Tangrowth and Slow King pretty well. I'm gonna go for Pain Split just to wear him down, and he's gonna go for another Power Whip. And I'm just using it to wear him down. Eventually, I'll die, but you know, maybe that's not the point. Maybe that's the point. Maybe I want to get Quillfish out. But he's gonna keep on going for Power Whips, and I say, he's got some pretty good physical attackers on his team. I still kind of need Quillfish, so I'm gonna switch out from Quillfish, and I go into Pinsir, and I'm gonna go Druddigon to sack him, right? And he's gonna go for another Power Whip, and it doesn't even kill, which is great. That means I get 2 turns of Rough Skin and a Dragon Claw, so I'm gonna go straight for that. So he gets as much damage off his Tangrowth so that Pinsir can come in and clean up. So he's gonna go for that Dragon Claw, do some decent damage. 23.8% is not bad, especially against a Tangrowth. But see that Power Whip, more Rough Skin damage, and that already did 2 things Rough Skin plus a Dragon Claw. His Regenerator is going to be shot if he comes back in, so this Tangrowth is severely weakened. So it's time to go into Pinsir and clean up here. I'm going to go for a Swords Dance, expecting him to maybe switch out. And instead he goes for Hidden Power Fire, and that scares me a lot because he's running a mixed Tangrowth, and that Hidden Power Fire did a lot. I can't live another one, so I need to go for an X-Scissor right away. I can't afford not to. So he's gonna go into Cavalier and take a bunch of damage from the hazards, and I got a crit on the X Scissor. That might have mattered. Knowing it's Cavalier, it probably did, but at the same time, you know, hacks, it happens. So it's unfortunate that happened there. But now I'm at +3, so I can pretty much OHKO with anything. I'm gonna go for. He's gonna go for an Earthquake because I can't go for a Quick Attack here. He resisted. I won't be able to kill him. I live on 1, which is great. But then my life orb kills me obviously after I X Scissor, and that X Scissor killed that Aerodactyl, and it's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. That's 2 kills under his belt, under Pinsir's belt, and Aerodactyl was just one-shotted. So power, he calls that bullshit, but I was like, no, Pinsir's just too powerful. He goes to Chinchino, and I go into Kabutops, and I realized it's a terrible switch, or a terrible matchup for me, so I'm going to go into Spirit Tomb to hopefully tank whatever's going to throw at me. Maybe a Tail Slap, but I was expecting a Bullet Seed. And Spirit Tomb takes the Bullet Seed pretty well. Not as well as I would have liked, but, you know, Spirit Tomb can't really complain about him. I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp to try and cripple this Chinchino. And if he tries to switch, he has to switch back in eventually, and that'll hurt. So I go for a Will-O-Wisp. He's going to go into his Slow King, knowing that, like, you know, maybe it won't burn. Like, well, maybe I'll miss, but also it won't really hurt because Slow King has a Generator, but I think he forgot about the hazards. Burn plus hazards is really going to suck for a Slow King, especially since he doesn't have really. He has Slack Off, I guess, but he doesn't go for it. He goes for a Scald instead, trying to get a burn off on me, some residual damage. I go for a Shadow Sneak, so that gets off some pretty decent damage. 18.3 isn't terrible, but I was wishing for more. But you know, so he's gonna switch out from Slow King, and he's gonna go into his Tangrowth, and I knew he was gonna switch out here, so I went for a Foul Play instead, because. You know, Shadow Sneak would have done nothing. And Foul Play also did close to nothing. It's a 16%. That's really not all that great. His Tango takes that really well, but again, his Regenerator was taken out, so he's really low in health. I'm going to go for more Foul Plays. Actually, no, I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp so that I can cripple those Power Whips. This Will-O-Wisp just, you know, it's also more residual damage on 2 of his Regenerator walls. It's an optimal situation for me. Looking for Shadow Sneak, get some more residual damage off. He goes for a Power Whip. Doesn't kill because he's burned. He says, why didn't I kill? Or something along those lines. Or like, you know, I got screwed there. And I was like, you're burned. It doesn't matter. You weren't going to kill Spirit Tomb. He's too bulky anyway. So I go for Shadow Sneak. He lives on 2%. I really... But I also live on 3%. So it's all good. It all balances out in the end. And he does the burn. And I'm still alive. So, yeah, for Spirit Tomb. He's obviously working in the spot. He's going to go into Galvantula to Revenge Kill, but Galvantula takes a ton of damage from all the hazards. He's going to go for a Bug Buzz after I go for a Shadow Sneak just to get more damage off, because, you know, there's no point in not doing it. Spirit Tomb's going to die anyway, so he's going to go for Bug Buzz, Revenge Kill Spirit Tomb, and we learned that Galvantula's a Life Orb set, which scares me a lot, because he's Compound Eyes and that Thunder, so I'm going to go into Manectric and hopefully kill him with a Volt Switch, and I do. I know I'm faster because he's not a Choice Scarf set, but I think even then to be faster because I'm a Choice Scarf Manectric. Faster than a lot of the tier. I go for Volt Switch to kill, and I'm going to go into my Quillfish to essentially sack it. Trying to go with as much damage as possible until I have to sack it. He's going to go into his Slow King because he knows he walls me, and he also has Side Shock probably, so he can hit me pretty well. He takes a lot of damage again from all those hazards, and my Waterfall does like nothing. So right now it's looking pretty good for him, but he goes for the Side Shock instead of the Slack Off if he has it. He should have gone for the Slack Off instead, but he goes to Side Shock to kill off Quillfish. And he's hurting now because that burn's coming back to bite him, and I'm just going to be able to come back in with Manectric and kill him with a Volt Switch. And that's the end of Slow King, which is great, and that means that Chinchino has to come in. I mean, I have to switch to Kabutops, but he has to go into Chinchino, which is great because Chinchino's already weakened, so he goes in. Kabutops is at full health, and I still have Manectric in my back pocket just in case I need him. And there's Chinchino taking a ton of damage from those hazards again. Those hazards. This is why hazards are really, really useful. And I just go for the Aqua Jet to kill it off before it can do anything crazy. And that's the end of Chinchino, and that's the end of Vash. VashTheStampede was a good game. I liked it. It was fun. I think it showcased my team pretty well. An arrow to a victory. So I think also showcases how important hazards are to the RU metagame. Like if you don't have hazards on your team, you may need, you know, you're definitely gonna have to prepare for them. I think it was a pretty good game, and I really liked it, and I hope you guys did too. Remember, guys, rate, like, comment, subscribe, you know, whatever it is. Whatever you do what you do, I do what I do, and I'll work in harmony. Again, I'll be coming back with more, so, because I'm back from vacation, so I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. This has been Zach for Late Night Ramen, and I'll catch you guys later.